Hello everybody, my name is Michael K and welcome to a Replica Airguns 4.5mm steel BB pistol review. And today we're taking a look at two brand new pistols from Umarex. One's obviously a revolver here, one's a compact semi-auto shooter. And we have the Colt Python here. This is the Colt Python 357. Very similar in design to the Dan Wesson and the Smith & Wesson 327 TRR8, at least in the way that it loads and all that. But I'd say in terms of looks, it looks very similar to the Crosman. I'll get into that in a bit. We also have our Walther PPS right here. Now let's quickly show you the boxes so that I can also show you all the sort of basic specifications at the same time. Now the PPS does not come in a box. Unfortunately, it comes in this plastic wrap. So we have 18 BBs, we have the Weaver rail here, the bottom, drop-free mag, steel BBs, so those are the 4.5mm, 12 gram CO2, blowback, and 350 FPS claim. Now the Colt Python, 400 FPS claimed, 6 rounds, swing out cylinder, full metal, and adjustable rear sight. Okay. Not too much else. CO2 of course, 12 gram steel BB. Now this is just my preview video, so I'm not going to get into a lot of details. Now in many cases I'll say such and such a gun is made by such and such a company. And I probably should get away from that because in a lot of cases the guns aren't actually made by that company. So for instance, these pistols I don't believe are actually made by Umarex. They're distributed by Umarex. So in other words, Umarex has the license for Colt. Umarex has the license for Walther. That's why they have these Walther PPS. That's why we have Colt here, Python, right? When in fact the gun isn't actually made by Umarex, and I'll show you why I believe this. This is a brochure from KWC, and it's the same gun, okay? And KWC doesn't license any brand, so they don't make guns with writing on them that say Colt or anything. You'll see this gun doesn't say Colt Python, but they make the gun. And then they make it with the licensing, which then goes to Umarex, probably special ordered by Umarex with certain licensing on it, and Umarex redistributes it. So it's really distributed by Umarex. You can see it actually comes in different barrel lengths here too. Alright, same goes for the PPS, and the reason I say that, and I'll bring this other gun in, is because this gun is so similar to the ASG Bersa BP9C. I mean really, they're very similar guns. Both of these guns have CO2, so I gotta be careful. But the way that they load, the way that everything is designed by them, like you'll see here, the Bersa, right? You got this type of idea with the dropout mag. Look at the triggers on these guns, right? Almost the same, except for you got your crossbolt safety there. All right, so same thing, different type of ejection, obviously, because it's a different gun. But the way that everything kind of works. I want to get into this. This is pretty cool. I want to show you a couple things while I do this preview video. But so that's kind of what I'm saying here now, which is which. Okay. But yeah, these guns are very similar, and I believe that both of the Bersa, ASG Bersa, and the Umarex Walther PPS, I believe they're made by the same company, made in the same factory. But see, look at how similar they are. And I don't even know which factory actually makes them. It'd be interesting to know who actually makes these guns. But doesn't matter. I'm here to review these guns, and you know, doesn't matter that Umarex is just basically redistributing them. Fact is, we have these guns for you to review, and let's talk a little bit about them. Alright, I did quickly want to show you a couple guns that are similar to the Colt Python. So this is basically the same style of gun. This is the Crosman 357 Magnum, and it's the closest thing. It's basically the same type of thing. It's styled after a Colt 357 Magnum. And you'll see that the Umarex version does have a longer area in here, probably to accommodate some of the trigger action workings. I'm not really sure why, but it's not exactly like a real Colt Python. The Colt Python would be shorter in here. Now in terms of loading and whatnot, you'll see that they do have similar shells. I'm going to show you the Colt Python shells real quick because they are different, and I don't think you can use the shells from each gun in each gun because they are different. So you'll notice here that the Colt Python shell is actually longer, has a different shaped front piece, it's longer too, and the back of the shell right in here is actually thicker. So the rim of the shell is thicker. Okay? So I don't think you're going to be able to use these shells back and forth. And if you could use them, they're probably not going to work as well in each other's guns because they are a different shape. Alright, let's quickly take a look around. It's always nice. So you pull this back to open it up. Never hurts to kind of pull it back in. Now this is single and double action. Okay. Nice. Oh, there we go. We do have some CO2 in it, so got to be careful. And I like how this is recessed and for the most part covered up. A little bit hard to get it in there, but I'd rather have that than a tab coming out. And nice grips. They are a little plasticky. They're not as rubbery as they look. So there's a bit of a, you can feel that there's a little bit of like grain to it. It's not soft. Okay, of course the Umarex warning information. License is trademark of New Colt Holding Incorp or Corporation. Does have a recessed barrel. It's nice. Okay, your front sight. Rear sight is fully adjustable for windage and elevation. It was pretty easy to aim. I did do a little test shooting with it. And it's very heavy. It's heavier, I would say, than the actual Dan Wesson guns. Okay. This is a cool little gun. It does have blowback, so I'll show you that. Okay. PPS. These are just molded in, so you're not going to be able to field strip it by doing that. Slide catch release does work. The blowback isn't too bad, a little more than the BP9C, I'd say. You have this cross bolt safety, okay, which is nice, pretty straightforward. You've got an ambidextrous magazine release on both sides there, typical Walther style. Now what I did want to show you, which I thought was really cool, is instead of a tab, you've got an Allen key that's built right into this. Isn't that brilliant? That is brilliant. I mean, I've never seen that. That is just awesome. So, gotta like that. Here's your mag, just a stick mag. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time here, but there's your writing, serial number, more branding. Really compact gun. Look at that. Look at how small that is. Even smaller than the BP9C. It's narrower, shorter, thinner. It's just tiny. I thought the BP9C was small, but this Walther PPS takes the cake there. Alright, in terms of shooting, I had to go outside and try these guns real quick, so I'm just going to show you really quickly the target and some basic FPS. Now this is the PPS. It got a really tight 2-inch group from 30 feet out, semi-rested position. There's nothing wrong with this group at all. Never shot the gun before. Targeted really well. It wasn't like they were all hanging in one area. They just shot nicely within 2 inches. And for FPS, I crossed the first one off because it was unusually low, but I got 366, 366, 362, 359, 355. Very consistent. And definitely in that 350 plus range. So they're not lying about the FPS on this guy. Real quick, the Python, a little lower, a little more vertically up and down, and the reason for that is because I got a real variety of FPS. As high as 420, as low as, well, I scratched off the lowest one, 349, but we'll take the 354 as the lowest. So quite a range in FPS, and that variation may actually make it shoot a little high and low at times. So that could be why it shot up and down like that. But it was tight left to right, very tight. A little bit low, but the sights are adjustable, so we can get that up there, no problem. Alright, both of these pistols are available in the Replica Airguns.ca store, and I'm sure we'll be making them available in the US store as well. They could even be in the US store before this video is published. So make sure to check out both our Replica Airguns.ca online store and .com online store. Alright, thanks for watching this preview video. I will be making a dedicated tabletop and field test shooting review for both of these pistols, so stay posted for those. Also come down to ReplicaAirguns.com. I'll put a link in the description of this video where I'll post a short written preview for both these pistols along with some high resolution photos there for you to check out. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Until next time, take care.